Think about this for a moment. A vast majority of history hasn't been recorded. Records we have are actually only a fragment of the complete history of humankind. And even in those records, there are flaws and errors. Today, I want to mention some of the most common false facts and beliefs about ancient history that most people believe, and probably always will. But you don't have to be one of them. Truth number 1. The Egyptian pyramids were not constructed by slaves. Even though the idea that the Great Pyramids were built using slave labor originated from the writings of the great Herodotus, there are actual archaeological evidence the laborers were mostly poor farmers working in the off-season to earn extra cash. Alongside farmers, there were other skilled workers overseeing the constructions, and they were all paid handsomely in high-quality food and tax exemption status. Number 2. Tutankhamun's tomb is not inscribed with a curse. There is a common belief that was accepted as a fact, saying that there is a curse inscribed on Tutankhamun's tomb which warns people not to disturb it. As awesome as it sounds, the whole thing is just a media invention of the 20th century tabloid journalists. Number 3. Greek and Roman sculptures weren't always white. Although they appear white today, ancient Greek and Roman sculptures were originally painted with colors. The pigments have deteriorated over time, even though some well-preserved statues still bear traces of their original colors. Number 4. The word idiot was not used to insult people who didn't vote in ancient Greece. It is believed that the ancient Greeks used the word idiot to belittle members of society who did not take part in civic life or who did not vote. However, an idiot was simply a private citizen as opposed to a government official. The word later evolved to mean ignorant, stupid, or mentally deficient. Number 5. Hypatia of Alexandria was not murdered for her religious views. Hypatia was a Neoplatonist philosopher and scientist living in Alexandria, Egypt. It is commonly believed that she was murdered by a mob of Christian monks in the year 415 because of her religious views. The real reason was actually her involvement in a political feud between her student Orestes, the Roman prefect of Alexandria, and the bishop Cyril. Her death also had nothing to do with the destruction of the Library of Alexandria, which had probably been destroyed centuries before she was even born. Number 6. The Roman salute was not used in ancient Rome. The classical Roman salute we see in movies today, in which the arm is fully extended forwards or diagonally with palm down and fingers touching, was never used in ancient Rome. It was first associated with ancient Rome in the 1784 painting The Odes of the Horati by Jacques-Louis David. Later on, it inspired various other salutes. Number 7. Vomiting was not a regular part of Roman dining customs. In ancient Rome, the architectural feature called a vomitorium was the entranceway through which crowds entered and exited a stadium, not a special room used for purging food during meals. Ew. Number 8. Julius Caesar was not born via caesarean section. At the time of his birth, 100 BCE, such a procedure would have been fatal for the mother. Caesar's mother was still alive when he was 45 years old. As for the name caesarean, it probably simply comes from the Latin verb cadere, which means to cut. And number 9. Scipio Aemilianus did not plow over the city of Carthage and sow it with salt. After defeating it in the Third Punic War, Scipio Aemilianus is said to have plowed salt into the city's grounds to ensure they are never able to challenge him again. However, this never really happened, and the source of the misconception is an erroneous article in the 1930 edition of Cambridge Ancient History. There, now you can sleep calmly knowing you are aware of these falsehoods. Don't believe everything people talk about, especially when the sources are hundreds of years old.